Going live. Hey everybody in Facebook land. Hi, I'm Mike Pingle and welcome to the newest edition of Nutri Buddies with Sarah and Tanya. Today we are going to talk about some wonderful healthy things, of course. Those of you on Facebook who are watching live, you can put your questions in here on the comments below. And if you're in Zoom and like to come on camera, please just raise your hands. And I'm going to go away now and let the buddies begin. Hi guys. Bye guys.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Tanya?
Great. What have you been up to this week?
Well, I've been busy around the house, of course. I had all those pumpkins that I needed to do something with because we're still in pumpkin season. So this morning I got really busy and I took two of them and busted them open with a knife. You gotta be real careful. And I cooked them and I made myself some fresh pumpkin puree to last me. Yeah, so and I did other things too. I made some bone broth and I did this charcuterie tray. So did some laundry. How exciting, you know. What did you do this morning?
Huh?
What did you do this morning?
This morning I started my yoga drink that I told you about with the maple syrup, the lemon, and the cayenne pepper. So I made a jug of that, and I took my dog for a walk all around. You know, it takes about an hour and a half to do all around the neighborhood. And let me see, did a few exercises when I got home with my weights. And that's about it.
That's good. That's good. I didn't get a chance to work out. I usually work out really early in the morning. So it looks like I'll have to do it later this afternoon, which I get kind of sluggish if it gets too late. And then I don't.
I have to do it first thing in the morning because it's the only way that I can keep my dog away from anyone with coronavirus. So I go out really early at about 5:30.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. I mean, it's nice. Peaceful.
Yeah, very.
I love it. Well, that's what I don't have a dog, but if I had a dog, I'd be out walking it early. I used to have dogs.
Yeah, you don't have one now?
No, I had two, and they've passed away a couple years ago. My son wants one really bad, and so is my daughter. She's over there.
So you're going to be getting a dog, huh?
I'm looking into it. You know, there's a hard part there because my daughter's allergic to dogs, and my son's not. So I want to get one that's, you know, doesn't have one that has the hypoallergenic, you know, that's not going to affect her. But those are really hard to find in a dog.
Poodles.
Yeah. So I'll probably have to do that. So yeah, because my husband and I really we just like to adopt. So
yeah, of course. So
there's
do
so
we.
many that need homes.
Yeah, we adopted ours.
That's good. That's very important. I love that. So should we get started cooking or?
Let's start in. Let's see what you're doing.
Okay. So today I'm going to make a nice, warm, hot drink for you that boosts your immunity and it helps with inflammation. This is what it's going to look like, the color when it's done. It's pretty much, it's like bright yellow. We're going to be using actually I should say 4 ingredients. Basically a lemon, and you want to choose organic because the skin, you're going to be putting it in, you know, the skin as well. Organic turmeric root. When you cut it open, it's bright orange and it's not too attractive. It kind of looks funny. And then we've got ginger root, fresh ginger root, which I'm sure you know what that is.
Oh, I love ginger root. I have it around the house all the time.
Yeah, I love it too. And the fresh is so much better than the jar because it's more zingy, I feel.
Oh yeah, I put it in my what is it? My juicer. I put always a piece of it, and it gives such a nice flavor.
That's good. You should. It's
Love it.
so healthy. Okay, so I basically have a teapot here, and I filled it up with my favorite ingredient, which is distilled water.
Okay.
And I'm going to set that aside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply chop up my fresh turmeric root. These are quite large. Normally you'll find ones that are, much not as thick, maybe a little shorter, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. You just basically, what I do is you just chop them up in chunks like that, like the size of a carrot, I guess. And you just drop it in the water. I do about 3 or 4, depending on the size. And then you do the same thing with your ginger. You can just chop it, slices like, big chunks. Again, same thing.
So the drink tastes really gingery too, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of ginger. It depends on how much you put in. I like to put in equal parts of ginger and turmeric. And then my lemon, and I just cut, again, chunks. I use about a half a lemon. And I'm sorry, what?
Skinned lemons or with the skin on?
With the skin on. Skin on.
Right,
So
you gotta make sure they're organic too.
yeah, it has to be organic. And then you want a whole teapot full of water because this is going to be a lot of flavor. And you just turn it on and let it boil. Now, the longer it simmers, once it comes to a boil, you want to bring it down to a simmer. And you can simmer it for half hour. The longer you simmer it, the brighter and more infused it's going to get. Comes out, you're just going to add a little bit of honey to taste. And that's it. Very simple, very nutritious, helps with inflammation, major antioxidants.
Oh, that's great.
And tasty. Then, while that's heating up, we're also going to make a pumpkin and sage hummus.
Oh, great. I love hummus.
Yeah. So this is pretty simple and straightforward. This morning, what I did is I made this beautiful charcuterie, or not charcuterie, it doesn't have meat on it. Anyway, it's a bunch of cut up vegetables. I did celery, pepper, cucumbers, radishes, carrots, and then I threw some olives on there. And this morning I made this amazing hummus. This is a different flavor. This is lemony hemp. Can't talk.
Hemp.
Yes. So basically what I did is I toasted some hemp hearts first to kind of really bring out their flavor. And then it has a lot of...
Where can you get hemp hearts?
You can buy them at any health food store, like Trader Joe's, Sprouts, Jimbo's, any of those types of places.
I've never noticed them there.
They usually are with
the carrots and things.
No, at Trader Joe's they would be in the aisle where the cereals are, down from there, in between the tea and the cereal and the oatmeal, kind of along that area, and they come in a bag. You'll find them in a bag.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, they are from the hemp plant, but it has no. You're not going to get any CBD. You're not going to get high off of the hemp parts. They're just full of nutrition and wonderful value, nutritional value. So this is the one I made this morning. So that's a different flavor. And the reason I make this is because I want my kids to, have snacks they can just come and eat really readily and more. So very simple recipe. You're going to need a food processor for this. All right. So I've got my garbanzo beans and they're cooked. And you want to, they're cooked, yes. And I recommend using dry, but if you are pressed for time, you can use canned. I also recommend over canned a brand called Jovial. It comes in a glass jar. And that's, you know, they kind of single serve like this size. You just pop open the can, you rinse them off under the water. And then they have like these little kind of skins sometimes. And in this case, you'd want to take them off. You know, you just they come off with the water, the rinsing. Yeah. They're like a little, I don't know if I can find one, but anyway, it's like a little skin. So you want to get off as many of those as you can, because that makes your hummus. Yeah. So you dump those in. These are rinsed and cooked already. Okay. And you've got.
How long did you cook them for?
Well, I use my Instapot. So my Instapot, you know, it's like, it depends. 20 minutes, but it takes 20 minutes to come to heat. And then 20 more minutes to release the steam. So by the time it's done, it's like 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Yeah, but the actual cooking time is not that. Yeah. And the Instapot is what? It's like a pressure cooker, but you can also, it has a saute function. It's a wonderful tool for so many things. I do all kinds of things in it. Breakfasts. I've even heard of people making desserts in it. I haven't done that, but I mostly use it for beans. And I made black beans the other night, and they turned out fabulous. I've done chicken. I've done big pieces of like beef pot roast, and everything turns out beautiful. Yeah, but it doesn't have the pressure of a pressure cooker, or does it? Yes, it does. It does. So when it has a saute function, and you saute what you want, and then you basically put your ingredients back in, and you deglaze the pan or add whatever you want, and then you put the lid on, bring it to pressure, and then it pressurizes it and cooks it. Oh, so it gets cooked much quicker. Yes, yes. So that's a quick way. And I recommend dry beans all the time over canned. Yeah, if you can do that. So we're gonna add my fresh, I just cooked this pumpkin this morning. I carved the pumpkins, and it's so simple. You basically you cut up the pumpkins, and then into manageable size pieces. And then you put them on I guess like a baking sheet or a tray. I had a deep tray. You salt them first, and then you turn them over so that the skin, the flesh is down, the skin side up, and you roast them in your oven for, I'd say about an hour at 400 degrees. And then when they're done, you scrape the flesh, the skin comes right off. And I used my, yeah, it just purees it. And what I did is, to make the pureeing easier, you cut it down a little bit, you cut it in little pieces, and it just makes it easier to puree. But it's naturally sweet, and it doesn't need anything. So this is fresh pumpkin. And I have a cup. This is 1 cup of fresh pumpkin. We're adding to our garbanzo beans. Something there, I don't know what that is. Half a teaspoon of cumin is what I'm going to do now. Here's my spices. Organic cumin. Half a teaspoon. Put that in. 1/4 teaspoon of sage. Lovely sage. This is rub sage, so I'm going to go a little bit more because, whoops. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Let's see. Olive oil? Yes. Now, I purchased this olive oil from a farm. I think it's in the Mediterranean. It's called Little Gypsy Farms. The thing with olive oil is that most commercial olive oils that you'll find in the grocery store, even in the health food stores, are not 100% olive oil. They're mixed with canola or safflower oil. You know, yeah, you know when you taste them, they kind of just taste, I don't know, unexciting. Olive oil should be peppery and grassy and almost like when you bite into a fresh olive. That's what you're. Yeah, that's the flavor that you're looking for.
I use olive oil all the time. I use extra virgin.
That's good. That's good. But you want to make sure that the brand that you're using is 100%. Yes. So we're doing 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Oh, I forgot my tahini. This is tahini, and this is basically, I don't know if you don't know what tahini is, it's ground up sesame seeds.
Yeah.
Oh, we are doing 2 tablespoons of tahini. I'm gonna grab myself another tablespoon. I'm gonna turn this down so it simmers because it's almost boiling. Now, this tahini is kind of mushy, but it's fine. It's like a, kind of, I don't like a thick syrup. So we're doing 2 tablespoons tahini. Bear with me, it's kind of sticky and okay. Now we're going to do 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I've already got one cut here. I have a bowl because you don't want the seeds in it.
Yeah, I have that same lemon juicer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes if you plunge it down too quick, the seeds pop out and go right into your whatever you're making. So that's why you gotta plunge it down slower than what you want to.
Yeah. I roll mine on the table first to make it easier to squeeze.
That's a good idea, yeah. Yeah, because the skins can be pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I think I should, probably gonna need more, so I'll cut another half.
So that's 2 lemons?
No, I'm squeezing the juice. It's going to the equivalent of 2 tablespoons of lemon juice.
Oh, 2 tablespoons.
Yeah. One, 2. Okay. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The salt that I'm using is, I bought Himalayan red sea salt.
Sure, I've had that.
Yeah, I like that better because regular table salt, like Morton's, has tons of sugar in it.
Oh, I didn't even know that. But I know you use sea salt too.
Yeah, well, the reason they put sugar in it is because it flows better.
Really? God, I never knew that.
Yeah. So you're better off with sea salts.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. So we have all of our ingredients in here. We're gonna take it over and mix it. talks among yourselves because this is going to take a minute.
Okay.
So, Connie, do you like hummus?
Oh, I love hummus, don't you?
Oh, I do love hummus,
I love it.
although I've never made my own.
Oh, I've made some before, but I make it with tahini and sesame seeds and lemon.
Oh, well, it seems like a very simple recipe.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna have to do it.
Brown sauce.
Oh, it's so good.
It's
So tasty. Yes. So your hummus is done. Let me grab So when you're done mixing it, it should be nice and creamy and smooth. And you just take it out of your food processor and put it into a bowl for service, or you can save it for later. It's nice and creamy and oh, so good. You can put some
Great.
fresh, put a few fresh sage leaves on the top if you want.
Great.
Nice.
Sarah, Jesse asks, I really like the taste of lemons. Could I add more, 1 or 2 lemons to it on the top already of the 2 lemons you're using?
Yeah, you could, but the thing is that's going to really water it down. What you're going to want to do when you serve it is you're going to want to do like a little tiny extra drizzle of olive oil. And then you put some red pepper flakes on the top. That's going to be better. But yeah, I mean, it's personal preference. If you want to do that, you could do that too. It's not going to mix in because you're mixing it. If you want to mix in and be really creamy, then you'd have to mix it in instead of put it on after. And that's it. Really simple.
terrific.
And it provides protein and all kinds of good vitamins and minerals. We know pumpkin has the B vitamins and good for your eyes and all kinds of nutritious.
Pumpkins this time of year.
It is pumpkin. I love taking advantage of pumpkin season because it's I mean it's the perfect time to do all your pumpkin recipes. I love the fall and dressing up in a sweater. Pumpkin this and pumpkin that. My kids are not too about it, about pumpkin.
Oh,
They're
well,
not
talk about pumpkin.
pumpkins.
What, Tanya?
What?
About pumpkins.
Am I what?
Your kids aren't into pumpkins?
No, I don't know why. My daughter says she doesn't like it, but I've made certain recipes where I put it in and she'll be like, oh, this is so good. And then say, what's in it? And I'll be like, I don't want to tell you. And she's like, why not? And I said, because then you'll stop eating it. She says, oh, well, I know there's something good in it. So just tell me what it is. So she begs me to tell her. And then when I tell her, she's like, oh yeah, it's not very good. I don't like it.
Oh, really? God.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not liking pumpkin. Pumpkin pie is my favorite pie in the world. I love it.
Exactly. So I think it could just be her age, or something like that, or the fact that, she has to rebel against anything that's really super.
Yeah, of course.
Anything against pumpkin, she seems like she rebels to.
But my son's pretty good about that. That's why I love these vegetable trays with the hummus, because he comes in and, teenage boys, he's 18, actually he's not a teenager anymore, but he's a young adult. And they're always constantly hungry, looking for something to eat. And so if you have stuff in the fridge, it's a quick grab. And, if you're not going to have stuff in your fridge like this for them to grab quickly, they're going to go off and they're going to buy hamburgers or milkshakes. So when you're giving them an opportunity to really grab something healthy, and the hummus, it helps sustain them longer. And oftentimes I'll make something with, lots of garbanzo beans, or I'll add garbanzo beans to his, oops. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I think I'll add garbanzo beans to his soups and stews, and he'll be really satisfied. He'll be like, oh, I'm so full. So he's surprised at how satiated he is and how full he is. He's thinking that he wants to eat more food, but he's satisfied.
Yeah, that's great. That's so great. Rather than grabbing a cookie or something.
Exactly.
Exactly. People on Facebook are chiming in here. So Jesse asked, is there anything healthy you can add to a pumpkin soup to make it taste a little sweeter?
A pumpkin soup? Well, you know how much I love maple syrup, and that's perfect. It would be a nice compliment if you're looking to make it sweeter. But a pumpkin is naturally sweet. Like the ones that I did today, I tasted, and it's naturally sweet. It depends on how much sugar you're having.
Yeah.
So many people are used to so much sugar because of eating all these processed foods, and they engineer. Yeah, they engineer it to the perfect amount of sugar and the perfect amount of salt, and so you basically you can't get satisfied, and you can't stop eating, and you're wondering why you're not feeling hungry, but you can't stop eating this entire bag of what you're eating.
Oh,
and
yeah, absolutely. Like chips and whatever.
And they do that intentionally so that you can't stop eating the product. And so oops. Is that yours?
Tanya's getting a call from Charlie.
I don't know where the phone is.
You're being paged.
You're being paged. I'm going to mute Tanya. So another thing, Sarah,
Yes.
Tupol, I believe his name is, said, if you grow your own pumpkins, don't discard the leaves. They can be steamed and filled with vegetables and beans and rolled into wraps. Alternative, they can be shredded into like a spring greens. Have you done that before?
No, I have not done that. I will have to try that. That sounds very interesting. Is it like a collard green, I would assume? I mean, collard greens, if it's kind of like, or a grape leaf, so it would have to be a hardy leaf. Yeah, that's a great idea. Love it. I'm going to try it. Thank you.
Fantastic. And Tanya, have Lance unmute you, please. Another person asked, tell me about it. When I was a teenager, I was like Theo raiding the refrigerator in the Cosby Show.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I mean, teenagers constantly need fuel because they're growing. So it's important to, try to get as many healthy things in there at every opportunity that you can. And even as you get older as an adult, we tend to get lazy. So I like to prepare things so I don't have excuses to say, oh, I'm too tired. This is perfect, So every time I open the fridge, I see it and I get an opportunity to have more fiber in my diet. And more fiber is going to make you healthier no matter what. More vegetables, more fiber, it's just going to make you healthier.
Oh, fantastic. So now the drink that you made today, how long will that last in the refrigerator? I mean, will it last for a while, or do you have to drink the whole thing at the same time?
Well, I normally drink it hot. So I guess you could drink it cold. It's a personal preference. It's usually only, I've never really tried putting it in the fridge. I guess you could, like an iced tea after you've strained out the,
Put it in the fridge and then heat it again.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I haven't tried it. I usually drink 1 or 2 cups and then serve it to my family, and then I'm done with it, and then I just do it the next day. But I don't see why you couldn't put it in the fridge, kind of like an iced tea, and have it be good for a few days. I would think that would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you both drink for to be healthy as far as when I get a cold, I drink something very similar to that. When I feel like it just itching in the back of your throat, when you're like, oh, I'm getting a little bit of a cold. Is that what you drink, Sarah? You just start making that? And Tani, do you have something else you drink to catch that cold before it happens?
Matcha tea.
Matcha tea is good. I love, you drink it, yeah, the hot matcha or just the tea?
Hot matcha.
Yeah. I also have my, yeah, the matcha.
But I mix up.
Yeah. I also make a smoothie that has the matcha in it too. I can make that.
Mix what?
I use the matcha powder in a smoothie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea because it's so good for you.
Yes, it is. It's green tea is very good for you. I normally go for this drink. This is my go-to. I like a lot of tea, but too much tea, you can get bored of it. And then there's the other thing with the tea bags. When they bleach the tea bags, you got to watch out for that. But this is my to-go. This and bone broth. I love those. Those are high immunity boosting drinks, and that I personally really love. Yes, those are my go-tos.
That's great.
So do you drink the bone tea by itself, that broth?
The bone broth, well, what I usually do is I buy a chicken, a whole roasted chicken, 100% grass-fed, pasture-raised, and then I roast it for my kids in the oven. And then after we're done with it, like a day or two, I save all the bones. And whatever is left on it, I put it in a stock pot with distilled water, and then a bunch of, I do a whole head of garlic, a whole onion, and then I do celery, some carrots, peppercorns, and whatever herbs you want. And then I also, the most important thing is you drop in a lemon. And the reason you drop in a lemon is because it helps break down the collagen. So you want to bring it to a boil, and then don't boil it for the rest of the time. You want to simmer it for hours slowly, because if you boil it, it destroys the collagen. That's why you want to simmer it for hours. Some people simmer it for 2 days to really break down the whole bones completely. I do it for sometimes I do it. I've done it for 2 days, but mostly just 8-10 hours.
8 or 10 hours you simmer it?
Yeah.
And then how do you get the bone out of the bone marrow out of the bone again? You first cook your chicken.
Well, yeah, you first cook the chicken, and then you put all the ingredients in, and you bring it to a boil and slowly simmer it. And what helps break the collagen down is the lemon and the slow simmering. So the bones will slowly dissolve, and the vegetables and everything will break down, and then you'll be left with a beautiful broth. And then what you do is you have to strain it. That's the messy part. You have to strain it and take whatever didn't break down and throw that away, and then you store your broth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you can drink it in the morning. It's a great morning drink. I love bone broth in the morning, or this.
And what does it taste like, bone broth? I've heard of it before, but I've never had any.
Like chicken broth.
Oh.
Yeah, you can put herbs. Basically, it's very gut healing. It's super, super good for your gut.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's very nourishing. I mean, think about it. When you were sick as a kid, and I don't know if your grandma or your mom made homemade chicken soup, you're like, oh, I feel so much better. Well, that's basically it's the bone broth. It's the garlic, the chicken and the broth and the onions and all that stuff. It's very nourishing for your gut health.
That's great to know.
Yes, high immunity. Oh, my battery keeps going.
Oh no, well that's good. It knows it's time for us to wrap up now.
I think so. It looks like yes, it looks like I'm going.
Well, buddies, you guys, there are some great tips. People on Facebook are blowing up thanking you for great ideas about the lemons and everything that you were cooking today, Sarah. Guys, ladies, this was an amazing show. I've taken notes, and I'm going to be starting to making some stuff. I
Excellent.
know. To make me
All
a
right.
super cooker, a super healthy cooker. Well, you two, thank you so much for another wonderful show. And thank you everybody out there on Facebook for watching us.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
And please share us with your friends on your Facebook page so they all can get these great recipes. Please like, we're going to be building a page this week. I'm sorry I haven't gotten it up. Please like Tanya Roberts, the official Tanya Roberts page, and also the H2O page, which is Sarah's favorite super secret ingredient in everything she does. And we'll see you next week. Next
Great.
time here on
Have a good
at
one,
2
people.
o'clock.
See you next time.
2 o'clock next time.
2 o'clock next Thursday. Bye. Bye, Sarah. Bye, Tanya.
Bye.